So, in our last class, we were discussing that there is always a supreme controller who is controlling this whole universe. We discussed this with an example that if you will see, you will find that there will always be a finite controller who is controlling specific groups or teams. There is always a superior person who is controlling, who is supervising that particular team, batch, group, whatever. So, now what to say of this whole universe? Things are not happening here by chance. So, there is always a supreme controller. Why? Why supreme controller is there? Because we are not the controller. We can clearly see this thing that things are not in our control. Hence, there is a supreme controller who is controlling everything. All right. So it is not without reason, therefore, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu particularly uses this word Jagdish, Lord of the universe. Jagdish means Lord of the universe, controller, who is supreme controller who is controlling this whole universe. He does not manufacture the term, for it is found in many different Vedic mantras. For instance, तव कर कमल वरे नखमद्भुत श्रृंगाम दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगाम केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे. Oh my lord, your hands are very beautiful, like the lotus flower. But with your long nails, you have ripped apart the wasp Hiranyakashipu. Unto you, Lord of the universe, do I offer my humble obeisances. So, Hiranyakashipu was an atheist who denied the existence of God. We discussed this thing yesterday that anyone who is denying the existence of God, he's actually a demon. It is demoniac reflection. Anyone who is behaving like this, who is not caring about the existence of God, he's actually keeping envy with Krishna, with God. Why? Because he himself wants to be a controller. This is the only reason of why people deny the existence of God, because they want to enjoy life independently by themselves. They want to control things by themselves, which is not possible. So Hiranyakashipu was an atheist who denied the existence of God, but God came as Lord 𝗲𝗏𝗵𝗺, a half man, half lion incarnation, and killed him. Okay, I have one question here with all of you. One devotee asked me this thing, but I was little perplexed about this thing, but now I am aware about this thing. So question is, how many incarnations are there of Lord Krishna? Any guesses? Any specific number? Is there any specific number that can be regarding incarnations and names also? Okay, one devotee is saying infinite. Yes. So Krishna, Lord Krishna have infinite incarnations and infinite names because Krishna himself is infinite. So this is very amazing thing. So yes, Lord Krishna, God, came as Lord 𝗲𝗏𝗵𝗺, a half man, half lion incarnation, and killed him. Therefore, Praise is given to the Lord as supreme controller of the universe and all living entities. Jaya Jagadish Hare. There is one more materialistic, what we say, Aarti, that Aarti Puja people do. There is one materialistic prayer also. Uh, what was that? जो ध्यावे फल पावे कष्ट मिटे तन का जय जगदीश हरे. This is actually materialistic prayers, which is not pleasing to Krishna. तन मन धन ये जीवन सब कुछ है तेरा तेरा तुझको अर्पण क्या लागे मेरा. People are singing like this, but they really don't mean it. They are just trying to control things. So these are not pleasing to Krishna. People often sing these prayers. These are materialistic prayers. And whatever they are singing, they really don't meditate on the meaning of those prayers. They're just singing it for the sake of singing. But when we sing Govindam Adipurusham Tamham Bhajami, I feel so much, a kind of proud. Proud means not bad proud. Proud means I'm serving the Supreme Personality. Govindam Adi Purusham, the original personality. When I often sing this kirtan, this song, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Ham Bhajami, we should reflect on the meaning of these prayers. You will feel very nice. Same way when we sing prayers in morning, all those artis. So we should also reflect on the meanings of those artis. They are really nice. So yes, moving forward, there is also another prayer. Jagannath Swami Nayan Pathgami Bhavat Me. O Lord of the universe, please be visible unto me. In all these prayers and in many others, the supreme controller of the universe is acknowledged. Everyone is trying to become supreme controllers, but it is not possible by individual, communal, or national effort. Even if people are coming in like big, large groups, then also it is not possible for them to become supreme controller. They are putting, no matter how much efforts they are putting to become a controller, supreme controller, but this will not happen. One more thing I want to tell here, I'm remembering it, that the holy name of Lord Krishna is so much potent. It is that much potent that the whole universe, the people of whole universe, they may commit lots and lots of sinful activities. But then also, if we will compete it with the holy name of Lord, then even the people of whole universe will defeat by just calling out one name, one holy name of Lord. All these sinful activities will get destroyed. This much potent is the holy name of Lord is this much potent. Now see, if it is this much potent, then we should try to chant very attentively every single name of Lord. We should try to chant it very attentively. We should try to hear it very attentively. It is that much potent. Only one single name of Lord. What to say of, we chant almost 28,000 names every single day. Devotees who chant 16 rounds. So, see? So yes, we were discussing that even people will come in groups, then also they will not be able to become supreme controllers. It is not possible. Because everyone is trying to be supreme. There is great competition in the world. The world is created in such a way, however, that no one can become supreme. Can you really agree on this? People are actually entangled in these things only. We want to control. We want to be controller. We want to control. Any husband, he will think, I want to control my wife. Parents, they are thinking, I will control my children. Teachers are thinking, I'll control my students. Boss is thinking, I'll control my secretary or whatever employer. So, this way, everyone is trying to become a controller. And there is a great competition here in this material world. So, see how easy it is to become a servant? Because in becoming a servant, there is no competition. You will find competition in only if you want to become a controller. But there is no any competition in becoming a servant. Servant of not materialistic people, servant of Lord. Have you ever seen anyone competing with you that, oh, you are chanting these rounds, you are chanting 32 rounds every single day. I will chant 64 rounds from tomorrow. I will compete you. No one competes. No one competes. No one is doing any kind of competition in devotional services. If anyone is doing that also, then that is also nice. Like my mother, she started chanting her 16 rounds as a competition. What do you think? I used to always tell her, I chant 16 rounds. It's not that easy to chant 16 rounds. You just do unnecessary things, etc., etc. It's not that easy. First you chant 16 rounds, then talk with me. So she, in competition, she started chanting her 16 rounds. That what do you think? Only you can chant 16 rounds. I will also tell you that I can also chant 16 rounds. So, like in competition, she started chanting her 16 rounds. But she's not doing it now. She quitted it. She's chanting few rounds, not 16. But yeah, see, if anyone is actually doing such competition in devotional services, then that is really very nice. But there is no competition here. And you will see this world is created in such a way that no one can become a supreme. Or no one can, supreme means no one can become a controller. Even if he's trying to control other people, but then also he will not be able to do it for long. Because no one likes to be controlled. This is also one thing which we discussed. No one likes to be in control. Let's understand with this an example. You will see parents, they often try to control their kids, their children. But those children, are they really obeying them, those parents? And that's why you will see there such kind of behavior of controlling that you are my children. I have given you birth. I am the controller. You will have to act according to me. In future, you will see as time will pass, those children will start hating their own parents. They will not like their parents much because no one likes to be controlled. No one is, no one likes to be in control. So this is not good thing again. This is actually false ego. Even those children, they didn't took any training about this thing that you should be a controller or anything like that. But then also they have this tendency that I'm not liking to being in control. I want to control. I want to handle things by myself. So this false ego is always there. This is again a covering. So this is very amazing thing. Regardless of what position we place ourselves in, we will find that someone is inferior to us and that someone is superior. Agree on this also. You will always see that we will always find someone who is always inferior from us. Inferior from whatever qualities, behavior, skills, that can be anything. And there will always be someone who will be superior from us. Again, in qualities, skills, whatever things. So, if one is understanding this thing that there will always be a superior person, that can be in anything. Maybe he looks more beautiful than you in looks, or maybe he is good in studies. That can be any, like, whatever activities they perform. So, if one is understanding this thing that there will always be a superior person, this is like natural. There will always be a superior and inferior person from you. Then, what is the scope of doing? What is the scope of entangling ourselves in such competition? When we are understanding this thing that there will always be an inferior or superior person than me, then why to entangle ourselves in such competition of becoming great? No one individual can say, I am the supreme. Supreme means I am the greatest man. No one is above me. Nor can anyone say, I am the most inferior. No one is below me. This is also not possible. Once we think that we are the most inferior, we will immediately find that someone is inferior to us. Just suppose if someone is assuming that I look so dull, like I look very ugly. But you will find there are many people, just for an example, there are many people who looks uglier more than you. Or if anyone is thinking, I am so poor, I have no money, I'm the poorest person of this world. But it is also not true. This is also not true. You will find there are many people who might be poorest than you. So, yes, once we will think that we are the most inferior or more superior, we will immediately find that someone is inferior or superior to us. And once we think that we are supreme or we are great, we will immediately find someone superior. This is our position. So, we all are in mid. God's position, however, is not like us. Yes. No one can be like God. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna asserts his superiority himself in this way. Mattah parataram nanyat kinchinasti dhananjaya mai sarvam idam protam sutre mani gana eva. Let's recite again. Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre mani gana eva. O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. Bhagavad Gita 7.7. Now see how Krishna is announcing this. He's making an announcement. He's telling this thing straightforwardly that there is no truth superior to me. Krishna is saying this. And you will find no any person can say this. Is it not? We discussed this thing right now only. That you will find any person, he will find that there will always be someone who is inferior or superior to us. So no one can say that no one is above me or no one is below me. But see, Krishna is saying this. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me. As per one are strung on a thread. What does that mean? You will see a garland. Let's say a garland of pearls. Let's understand with an example. There is a garland of pearls, which is those pearls are strung on thread. So those pearls are actually they those pearls or thread. What these two things? It transformed into a garland, right? These pearls they transformed into garlands, and it took shelter of thread. Without thread there was no possibility that it may transform into a garland. So same way Krishna is telling here that everything rests upon me, just like those pearls, those are resting means dependent, those are dependent on a thread. Same way, we, fragmental part of Krishna, we are dependent on Krishna. So we can't control things by ourselves. We are completely dependent on Krishna for everything. And that can be any small to big thing. The breath we are breathing, we are dependent on Krishna for this also. Or whatever, if we are speaking, we are sleeping, whatever things we are doing movement from our body, we are dependent on Krishna for this. And Krishna himself is telling this in Bhagavad Gita 7.7. So this is very important thing which one should understand. Okay. All right. So are you understanding this thing? That we all are dependent on Krishna. We can't control things by ourselves. Okay, now moving forward. God is Asamon, which means that no one is equal to or superior to him. Here's a misprinting. I was searching this only. So, yes, God is Asamon, which means that no one is equal to or superior to him. If no one is equal to him, then what to say of superiority? If we find someone who had no superior, we can accept him as a god. God can be defined as one who has no superior and who has no equal. This is the Vedic version. In the Upanishads, it is said, Na tat samas, na tat samav bhyadi kach drishyate. Now, what does that mean? No one is found equal to or greater than him. Now, let's understand this with one story. Which story? We read one thing here, that if we find someone who has no superior, we can accept him as God. Let's discuss one story behind this. There was a man, he was searching for a God, that who is God. So he was visiting in so many temples. He was visiting so many temples of demigods. So when he went, at the temple of Lord Shiva. So he saw that Lord Shiva is meditating. So he is busy doing something. Next, when he went to the temple of goddess Durga, so he saw that she is holding a trishul in her hand. So she is also performing any activity. So same way he roamed, he wandered almost every temple, and he was seeing, he observed this thing, he was noticing that everyone is busy doing something, any activity. Later, when he went at the temple of Lord Krishna, so he saw Lord Krishna is holding flute in his hand and he's just playing flute. He's not busy doing any activity. He is just playing flute and enjoying. So he understood this thing that he is definitely God, because he is not doing anything. He is free from all the other activities. He's just enjoying. He's just playing flute. He's enjoying. So this way we can understand that God is superior. He's not doing any activity. He's just enjoying. And this is what Krishna do. Krishna enjoys. Krishna is always in the blissful state. Satchidanand Ghan. So if we find someone who has no superior, we can accept him as God. So in Upanishads also it is said that no one is found equal to greater than Krishna. Another characteristic of God is that he has nothing to do. In the material world, when a man is considered very important, he always has a great number of things to do. Is it not? You will see Prime Minister also. He's a very important person. But he is also busy managing so many things. He has number of things to do. The president of the States, for instance, is considered to be the supreme man in the country. But as soon as there is some disturbance in the Central Europe or in any other place in the world, he immediately has to call a meeting of his cabinet to consider how to deal with the situation. So even he is required to do so many things. If he does not do anything, he is no longer the supreme man. This is also one thing now. If anyone is not doing anything, he's just laying on bed restlessly, then he will be fired from his position. Suppose if anyone is a prime minister or president and he is not doing anything, he's not performing his duties, responsibilities, then he will not be on that position because he's not fulfilling his responsibilities. So this is really amazing point that God is another characteristic of God is that he has nothing to do. Only he's enjoying, as he's the supreme enjoyer, ultimate enjoyer of everything, always in the blissful state. And you will see Krishna to his parshads. Krishna uh, gave same benedictions. No any job, business, you just serve me. Even devotees also who really understand this thing that my ultimate purpose is to serve Krishna. Krishna really gives chance to him. Krishna arranges everything, every material, like whatever material facilities are required, Krishna arranges all of them. If anyone is really willing to serve him, only serve him. See the mercy of Lord. So yes, In Vedic literatures, however, we find that God has nothing to do. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Krishna may act in so many ways in the world, but it is not because he is required to do so. Krishna performs his leelas by his own will. Whatever things Krishna is doing, he himself do that by his own desire, by his own will. It's not like he's required to do such things. So this is just amazing point. All right, now we will continue our discussion in our next class. We will stop here. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा.